Okay, it is nighttime here in Phoenix, Arizona, and this is Dan Tabar of Data Realms. I'm gonna try to finish up the third installment here of me implementing the technologies system in Cortex Command, which is technologies is just a text that players can choose to be affiliated with, and they get to pick out of a limited subset of weapons and actors that are like of that text. So I've done 2 videos already, and they turned out pretty good. It seems people liked watching them, so I'm gonna try finishing up the entire feature here with the 3rd video. I ran into some problems, as could be expected, I guess, by having music play even softly in the background. YouTube has algorithms that will actually identify the music and notify, their and I was streaming stuff off of the internet, so I didn't have the rights to put it in my video, I guess, or whatever, and then it worked fine in the US, but apparently other countries have problems viewing the videos because YouTube is blocking them. So anyway, no music in that one, in this one, so you can play this video and have music playing in the background on your own, I guess. Also, I'm playing with the hold on, let me just make sure the audio levels on this is I'm back. I just adjusted the audio a little bit. It's a little tricky to figure out exactly where. I noticed my audio was a little blown out last video, so I'm speaking a little more softly now because it is nighttime and there's people sleeping in the house, so I'm gonna try to speak more softly, but that means I need to fiddle with the audio settings to make sure my voice still comes through. Anyway, let's get to finishing this thing off. I'm gonna try to make another 1-hour video, and we got everything set up here. I do try to think through the problem before I start this video, because otherwise I'd just be watching me scrolling through code, just reading it and getting the lay of the land of the problem, so to speak, and that wouldn't be so fun. So I already placed some, I thought through what I'm going to do, and I placed some bookmarks throughout the code, and got my thoughts in order. So what we're doing is getting the technologies. We've already, in the past videos, we've already set up our buy menu. We've set up the metagames start game dialog that sets up the players and lets them select which tech they want to be. But now we actually gotta make that connection between the two. So and I figured out I'm gonna have to do it through, or I'm gonna choose to do it. There's probably other ways to do it, but I'm gonna do it through the Lua script, actually, that runs the metagame activities. So, and that's actually called metafight, that activity. All our so-called activities are just the logic for the game, the rules basically that sets up each little battle start activity. And this is a Lua script. This is not C++ anymore. That's why I'm using a different program. It's Dakota is just it's a very nice IDE, actually, integrated development environment for Lua development, so you can have your files in here. But the best thing is that you can debug your Lua code line by line. You can actually step through your code, your script, and have it show you. It can show you what the variables are while you're running it and so on, or stepping through it, and it's very handy that way. And it's actually built by fellow indies who are building natural selection. Unknown Worlds, I believe, is their company name, and they're doing a great job on their game of natural selection 2. But they also built this tool and is selling this tool on the side, and it's kind of a godsend because we got capability to actually debug our scripts now. Before you had to do like print debugging, and that's just hell, like trying to figure out what's going on in the code by spitting out text strings or text snippets everywhere about, okay, this is the value of this variable and whatnot. and it's just no fun. So it's better to step through the code and see how the actual the execution branch works. I'm talking too much about this. I'm gonna just get down to business. Basically, I'm gonna add code in here that connects the data we collected from the player when they set up the game, and I guess I should update that 2011 to 2012 copyright. Why don't we just do that while I'm at it? Some things are worth just doing immediately so you don't forget later. Cool. So here's the campaign. These are now populated, and they select something. You start the game. This actually has an effect on the data structure of the meta player data structure, or class, or objects actually I should say, that are in here now when I'm playing, but that doesn't have any effect in the metagame itself. Like right out here, it doesn't really affect anything. It's only when you go down on the surface of the planet and start fighting that. So we have these two guys attack the same spot. We have a battle, and this might not actually run even because the script of the metafight. Oh, it does. Cool. The script of the metafight activity is kind of under construction, so the logic here might be a little wacky. But anyway, okay, where is that? Just stop that there. Weird. I'm not supposed to have to manually learn this guy, but anyway, whoa. Okay, I'm gonna lose right now. Just crushed my brain, and for some reason that didn't stop the game. That's really bizarre. That's an interesting fail scenario right there. I don't think. Yeah, this is not working properly, and this is really what's left of making the metagame completely playable against AI is getting this right. The metagame activity needs to work properly. So how do I do this? I'm fighting with the keyboard controls. By menu. In here, let's say this was a coalition tech and he picked, and this would be open, and it would be all the same prices, but here it would be very high prices in any of the other techs. So that's what we gotta make happen, and that connection, the communication between the metagame and this menu of each player needs to be done through the Lua, or is going to be done through the Lua script that runs this activity, because there's really no other obvious way to make it happen. I mean, I could do it in C++, but I looked at it and it would be kind of clunky way of going about it, just the way the classes are set up. And I mean, this is just a regular scripted or generic scripted activity as far as the C++ is concerned, but as far as Lua, I mean the metagame, and it's a very special scripted. The metafight activity is a very special one because it's a very important activity because it's what gets run every time there's a fight in the metagame, and so it has to handle this. Dummy tech. So anything we'd buy and everything else, but let's just get that going, and hopefully we can make that happen in the next 50 minutes or so. So to make that happen, we have to first we have in the meta player, we have this is really the data we want to send over native tech module, which is what selects which is our native technology. This is the cost multiplier of the native tech. I think that's always going to be 1 because you don't want to multiply that. I just had that in there. I don't know, I might just take it out, but the foreign cost multiplier is the interesting part. So anything that's not your native tech and not the base RT tech or stuff that's defined in base RT will be foreign to you, and that will be multiplied in the price. So it'll be a cost multiplier on everything else that you, I guess, buy through the some kind of black market or shady means. So, or not necessarily shady. I mean, it's just like if it's not what your mining company has licenses to or something like that, maybe they have to just pay more licensing fees or something like that. I don't know what the exact story justification will be for that, but the end result will be the same. There's going to be more expensive things in the menu, and we need to communicate that to the menu. So from here we need to actually make that accessible. Get native tech module. That's already here, but I don't think the multiplier is here, so I'm gonna get, and now we actually do need to make accessors because the Lua bindings need to have access to them. So I'm gonna go get foreign tech multiplier. Okay. The multiplier of any tech okay, well that's enough. Something like that, whatever. It's gonna be a float. It's definitely constant. Okay. Foreign cost multiplier. Maybe I should just call it cost multiplier instead. And that, I don't think meta player is even bound at all. So, and I don't even know if meta manager is even bound at all to Lua yet. So you're gonna see, I'm gonna have to do that. Meta anything is not, yeah, it's not even in the doc. So let's do that. Meta activity manager, move manager, console manager. I guess we'll just have, yeah, there's no meta man in here. Maybe we'll just copy this guy. Why not? Oops. I don't want to do that. Actually, where are you going? Search down. Search down. Get all these replaced. We're probably going to axe most of these anyway. Yes, we do want to bind this meta man. Meta man. And you know what? I don't think that order makes sense. Well, maybe it does. Meta man. Meta manager. I like ordering things in some, order that makes some kind of sense, but usually just only makes sense to me at the time, and then it doesn't make sense later, but whatever. Sometimes it's even just like the aesthetic of the line lengths or something like that. It's stupid that I order things in. Activity type. Default activity type. This is not interesting properties. Where is MetaMan? MetaMan, for now I only need... MetaMan is the manager of the metagame. Contains the state of all of the metagame, the current metagame running. Can save itself out to disk. All that good stuff. Get game name. Guess the game name. Okay, I guess we can have game name. That's interesting. Property. Okay. Meta GUI. Yeah, this is important. Meta GUI is going to be interesting. Get GUI. Well, we don't have that bound yet, so let's just cool that. Ambition. Get player turn. That's interesting. That's not a property, it has to be a function, because a property, this is not a regular accessor because it has a parameter, so you need to make that into a proper function. Get team icon, that's not stuff I want to deal with right now. Scene income of player, all this blah blah blah. It's active team, his game. Got to be an accessor for the actual players. Come on, players of the metagame. Maybe not. So apparently not. Get player. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Get player. It's our little dinky binding of meta manager. It's not complete by any means, but it's what we're gonna need for now. Get player. Is it really no? The team of player. Okay, you suck. Just gonna have to make a accessor for that. Okay, I cannot see at night. Gets that's a player. Okay. Boom. Should we have that? Player size, yeah, we should, I think. And turn player. This is kind of scary. We should really get a little. Make sure that precedence is correct. Turn 0. It's kind of weird. Still won't crash the game yet. Coolio. Get the specified meta player. It's not supposed to be called. So a lot of programming is just laying the pipes here, like laying the foundation of what you want to do before you actually have the logic that ties it all, actually, that ties all the things together, that actually makes things happen. You gotta get the plumbing in first, so the different pieces of your program can actually talk to each other that need to talk to each other. Player turn, team of play, get player, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Get player, because now when we can get player, we are gonna be able to get the players. That's the next thing. We need to actually bind the meta player, and how I'm gonna do that is GUI banner activity. So this is probably even more boring without the music. Oh well, hopefully you have music playing in the background. I remember when sound cards couldn't play like 2 streams of audio at the same time. You can have music playing when you're playing a game. That was fun. Scene editor GUI. It was like a big deal when you could actually do that. Sound Blaster. Scene editor GUI. Yeah, we're gonna need to change, to add this, and we need to add the buy menu, because team, yes, get editor GUI. It's gonna be get buy GUI also in here. Might as well do that right now, because game activity get buy GUI needs to be in there. I thought about that already. The foresight. Get by GUI. Super. For that to work, we also need to bind the by GUI, or it won't make any sense at all to Lua bind. By menu GUI. And all this work getting things exposed to Lua is worth it, because it just enables us to work in Lua scripts and not have to recompile the whole game while we're iterating on the activity scripts. So that's huge. But it also enables you guys, the modders and fans of the game, to look into those scripts and just edit them and change them completely if you want to, which is pretty rad. I hope you think, but I hope you agree. By menu GUI. bind this. I totally went on a tangent here. I didn't even finish my other binding before I started binding something else, but I'll get back to it. It happens. What do I actually need here? I need to bind. Don't know if I need like all these enums. Nope. Enum's gone. Boom. Set cursor precision, not interesting. Current loadout, focus change, not interesting, not interesting. Is visible. None of this is interesting. There's a set. Pretty sure I set enabled. What the heck? Where's that category? Expanded modules. Pretty sure I set this somewhere or have it. Yeah. Why didn't I see this a second ago? Is it like protected? Yeah, it's protected members, which is not what we want. This needs to move up. So I don't know if we can bind protected members. Set controller. Set enabled is visible. Put it right there. Set modules expanded. That's fine, but we need actually more than that. We need to probably save the index of the native, this player's native. Yeah, it's gonna be. Where's a good place for that? List item index. Nope, nope. Maybe right under it, or before it. The native, the ID of the, that contains the native tech of the this menu. Zero is the default. So that makes everything native, I think. It's going to be the code. Zero ID is always based at RT, so. Native tech module. Boop, 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 boop. Create controller, no. Needs to set enable. No. That's the thing though, like shouldn't the players just have that information instead of me wiring them across player? Get player. Yeah, they get. I'm thinking of an alternate way of doing all this instead of going through Lua, having Lua hook up the connection between the metagame player and the by menu GUI. I might have, because the meta player and the players and the meta players are the players that are out in the strategic space and they get mapped onto players in the actual battles. maybe the players in the battle should have that information, and that way the menu could, maybe the menu could get that information from the players, from the activity man instead. Nah, screw it. I'm gonna do it the way I wanted to originally. So set enabled, none of this will be set. It will, native tech module will definitely have an effect. It might even, yeah, so native tech module, I want to have that set. That modifier, set module expanded. I'm going to have blap, blap, set tech module sets which ID should be treated as the native tech of this the user of this menu to cool. Great. Native module, which module? Great. So now we have that. Set native tech module. We want to bind that. Bind menu GUI. It's going to be set native tech module. And then set module expanded. I'm thinking actually set module expanded is gonna be done automatically by this. Don't you think? Also, just make it expanded. I think so, because it just makes sense. True. Excellent. Set native tech module. I guess we can have this too, whatever. That's really all I need for the buy menu right now. Might add more things later, but that's all we need to bind for the buy menu. And that buy menu we can get down here. Get buy menu, buy GUI. Excellent. We'll get by GUI and then MetaMan. We also need meta player. Or we just do that real easy. Right after activity, maybe? No, activity man. Here. Just add meta player. should we add to it? Meta player, get native tech module. What am I? Well, it's that one for sure. Get native tech module, or just native tech module property. So that cost multiplier, dang it. So that's good enough for now. We need to be able to set that in the by menu GUI. That's the other thing that I forgot. Native tech module. Here, the multiplier. That's a float. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, that's totally not right. It's in the... Yeah. 1.0? Foreign cost multiplier? Should be 2, I guess, by default. Something like that. I'll be setting it, but... Cool. Go back to Lumen. Set that. Where is this? Two game activity. Losing my train of thought. Where is that? Meta player, foreign cost multiplier. We need to be able to set that. Set native tech module. Also set cost multiplier. No. Scalar multiplier of the cost of foreign tech items. You know what? OCD is a bitch, right? that's what is on display right there. So float. Superb. Where's that GUI again? It's a lot of fun. Let's see if we can build the bindings or if it's going to blow up. So that, oh, it blew up pretty bad. Bind menu, oh. We need to include that file. Scene menu GUI, like that. Possibly also the MetaMan and all that shit. Well, maybe not. Meta player, yep. Yes, sir, indeedy. Player. Come on. int2 meta player. Yeah, well, that does not surprise me. Player size. What is going on here? Oh, there's only stores. It's not sending back a pointer. Guess that's okay. Get player. Can you just send back a reference? I think. Yeah, right. Let's get a reference into the meta player. Oh, but then we can't send back 0. Well, we definitely need to dereference or get the address of it. Like so. Let's see if this works any better. MetaMan. Where's MetaMan? MetaMan. That worked better. Okay, there's you might have noticed there was a little abrupt break there, and it's because I well, it's a long story. I recorded an entire hour after this, after the last cut, and that hour was filled with had a lot of good stuff. I finished actually the whole feature, and but I got stuck at the end of it, and I just stared at this one problem involving this Lua binding of this. Really, it's when I get players out of the meta game or the meta manager, the meta players, I use this way to iterate through the list of things, and fortunately you didn't see you won't see any of this stuff because I tried saving that hour-plus long clip with my after being done recording, and it threw an error. It gave me an error like resource allocated failed or something like that, and it just dumped everything, and I lost the entire recording. So Camtasia, just the program that I'm using, shut the bed on us, unfortunately, and we don't have that anymore. So I'm just going to go through real quick now and just show you what I did, and I can. Oh, this is interesting. How did this even run? So, yep, right there. Basically, I can give you a tour of what I did. So I made a bunch of bindings in Lua Bind. I created all these extra things that before the buy menu GUI didn't even exist in here, and it has, you can get the native tech, or you can set the native tech module of the player that uses that buy menu, and the foreign cost multiplier, meaning all the foreign tech items that aren't in the native tech module, how much more they cost basically is what you want to set, or is what this sets. And then this also sets module expanded, like which modules are expanded, but just setting the native tech module will automatically expand that module. So because it's the native one, it makes sense that that's going to be expanded in the menu or from the get-go, and it is here anyway. So that's great. Bunch of other bindings here. Actually getting the by GUI from the game activity. We get a specific by GUI of a player, of a specific player here. Self get by GUI. Self is the activity that we're running in the script here. Get by GUI player is, obviously which player we're working with the in-game player. It's a little tricky the way the in-game players are mapped, or the meta players are mapped onto the in-game players, because not every fight on the surface of the planet, the tactical fights, they're not going to involve every meta game player at every time. So like two players might just fight over this one scene, but there's actually 4 players total, and it's just in that particular battle there might just be 2, like player 2 and 4. So those are mapped onto in-game players, and I gotta take care of translating between the two, because we're actually having the two worlds talk, the two games are talking, meaning the metagame and the tactical down on the planet surface game, and that needs to be taken care of, and that's what we're doing here. We're iterating through all the meta players. Well, first of all, we're actually going through all the players of the game right here, of the activity, the in-game players, so to speak, and they are then for each defending human player, as opposed to an AI player, we then go through every meta player and make sure that if that meta player, in-game player, is what the player we're messing with right now, the in-game player, then we want to set that in-game player's GUIs, the by GUIs, to have the native tech module that the meta player is supposed to have, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So both we indicate the native tech module and that multiplier, and that's what we're doing. That's really the key. Like, this all boils down to, like, most of the things that I worked on here, it was all plumbing for this little thing to happen, this communication between the metagame and the in-game tactical game. So let's see, if we go back to the C++, we got a lot more bindings. The meta player wasn't bounded all the class here, so we're binding that. We're binding, we're getting these things. Again, this is all the plumbing that just goes into communicating between the two. Meta manager, we need to even get to the meta player, and that we're doing through here. And this is where the humongous pain in the ass problem. We had this, like, completely obtuse error messages, or I don't know what obtuse is the right word, but it's the totally indecipherable messages about, like, there's something wrong with the binding somewhere. So I had to, like, do a painstaking like process of elimination type hunt for this error. Turned out it's something to do with the allocator of, or the way the meta players, because I'm using it down here, I'm using it down in the, like, I'm using all this stuff, like, to get alarm events and actors and things from, and it works. So I know this works, like this trick that makes it very easy for us to just iterate through like this, like, oh, actually here, for meta player in meta man players. This is awesome. This is like really syntactically awesome, because, like, for each meta player, and then we can just reference that meta player, and it goes through all the players of the meta man. But for that to work, this binding obviously has to work out and not throw errors, and it was throwing errors because it's just the way the This the players are just stored. They're not like pointers. It's not a list or vector of pointers like it is down here. However, the alarm events are just stored as direct, like full objects, and that works. So like I didn't know what the heck was the problem, and turns out the meta player is allocated. I have this custom allocation. The you might not know this is actually very, very deep into C++'s advanced kind of deep end of the pool features that you can override new and delete operators. And there's and I did that before. That was the way I was doing it before, because I'm counting, like I'm actually custom allocating memory. But then there's an additional set of new and delete that you can override, and that I wasn't overriding, and that Lua bind helpfully was using, like this new, and then like sending in a parameter held, which is sending in a pointer where like a place in memory. So it's called a place menu, and I read up on this on Wikipedia. And there's placement syntax. Basically, you're sending in a pointer where you've already allocated memory. You just want new to like put its stuff in there. So I had to read up on this a little bit, and I just created 2 additional overrides. I don't know why I needed to. I don't know why they're just provided. But those overrides shut up the error that Lua bind was throwing. So that was a fun 45-minute detour into just tearing my hair out. But and it was lost. My computer thought that was too boring, I guess, of video, so he just fumbled it and dropped it. And so you guys are spared of that little odyssey. And then and that pretty much hooked up the what we did in the previous video, which was to set up the GUI for the user to select which tech they want for each player, and that communicated it all into the by menu GUI. And then the only thing that remained, which was surprisingly easy, was to make by menu GUI actually take that information that I got from the MetaMan through the script, and actually have it affect things in the menu. And that's how I did here. I like the get total order cost is a function here that just tallies the entire order that you've set up in the by menu. Like I want a ship delivering this guy and that weapon and whatnot. This tallies it all up, and I had to make make it figure out what everything costs if it's a foreign item. If it's a foreign item, then it's going to be a multiply, and it multiplies here, foreign cost multiplication, and it just multiplies it up if it is a foreign item on top of the actual gold value. Before it just had the gold values of everything, but now it actually has to multiply them. And that was there. There were a couple other places that I needed to adjust that for. There's a place where it actually writes out the value, the gold value. I can find it. Yep, it's right here. It's where we were before with the collapsing of module items, with the pluses and minuses that show up and all that. But here is where actually a gold value string is gotten, and that's what actually gets written into the item that gets added for each module. The items. And if it's a foreign module, it gets multiplied again. I have to send it in because this get gold value string actually writes a little string with that value and needs that multiplier. That caused another error in LuaBind to blow up, and I didn't understand where and what until I tracked it down. So that also added some extra boring video that you again are all spared of, thanks to things not going well. But it's probably for the best, and this is the result. I I tested this briefly so I know that it works, but I'm just going to show what it is that we've accomplished here. So it's going to be only in, I don't know if in, if we're going to have this apply in, I guess we could, I mean, you could just, like in the scenario battles, if techs are going to have any effect, I mean, you can set manually in the each activity. Like scenario battle, there's no way to set the tech, there's no menu for that. Like if we have, you know, we want to go, oh, I want player 1, but there's no, like, there's no means of setting text in here. So each player can buy anything they want for the same price. So I don't know. I mean, in the activities, we can make that happen in the script. Just kind of so-called, not really hard code, but, you know, code into the script that this player has this tech and this player has that tech. But what I want to show is here we got campaign. So we're going to start a little campaign. We do, the first one has coalition and the other one has, let's say, Ronin. And we start that game. We make them both end up going to the same site. Play one's turn. Again, I've said this before, but the frame rate is really low because my capture software only captures at 15 FPS, and the game is actually running a lot faster than what you're seeing here. So they're both going to the same spot. It's going to be a tussle. Just make them both come down so we can go into the buy menu. So remember, one was what was it, coalition or dummy or whatever? I forget. We'll find out. And well, apparently this is not working. I just realized, because those menus should open. Well, something's not working. One thing isn't working, which is that the menu should be opening, or should be open right now. And I'm suspecting no. Nothing, no errors in there. Dummy tech. You know what? Ronin. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did I miss something? Ronin tech? Oh, I gotcha. They were open. Look at this. This is funny. This is like one of those typical things that just subtle. So look over here on this side. I don't have, I started it up and nothing's open, but I'll go over to tools. I'm still not opening anything. I think go to tools and whoop, coalition tech is open. I go back to guns, coalition tech is open. I did not click on that. And the reason that's happening is, or that didn't happen initially from the get-go when I started it up, is because the script is running, it runs after this magic that actually communicates the thing happens after the, well after the menu is built. And the menu is, when the menu is built, all the module items are not expanded, they're collapsed by default, and that's what it started. It started looking like this, and this communicated that we want to set native tech module to, you know, to be that specific one, coalition or whatever. And it, you know, in my mind, I was like, okay, so that since I have that also automatically, it's set native tech module is supposed to expand it, set it to expand it, and it does. However, it does not update. It does not update the view, the whatever that is, update category. I think it's category change. Yep, category change. So we need to make this actually do category change as well. After expanded modules sets to true, and I'm gonna actually blah 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 false. Yes, that was a couple of videos ago. And so if I restart this now, because the category change is what makes this refresh, this menu refresh, and it would show as open from the get-go. So let's just rebuild, restart. with a minor change in there. And since it's a change in the header file, it's going to rebuild a bunch of stuff because this header is included in a lot of places. This function is becoming big enough that it's kind of ridiculously long. It's starting to not really work as an inline function, at least aesthetically speaking. In my mind, it's just like I don't like scrolling sideways. Building Lua Man, and that's another thing. Lua Man, the binding. I have all my bindings, Lua bindings, in one C++ file, and the reason for that is that that file is going to end up taking forever to build because it's doing an incredible amount of template magic in the background while it's compiling. It's expanding stuff to the nth degree. And we're about done. Excellent. Alright. Well, at least this won't be a full hour video. it was shaping up to be a well over an hour and a half video with my tearing my hair out over those compiling errors that you won't ever see. I was kind of feeling righteous that, you know, like, you get to see how terrible it can be sometimes when you're trying to, like, I actually had everything. I mean, I was basically done with the implementation. I thought it was just gonna run. I mean, and I was right. I mean, more or less the code I had put in there was everything it needed to have everything work. But then just to come, okay, and then we got excited to actually, shit, I didn't get both guys going to the same spot, so this guy's just gonna go alone to this site. It's fine. At least I can confirm that, yes. You see, I open the menu, Coalition Tech is now, I win this game. Great. Fabulous. It's not what the demonstration I really was hoping for, but I mean, we kind of confirmed right there that it is working. But we'll do this again, start a new game. We will later get expedition going over here. Yes, thank you. And the same spot is what I want. Yes. Start. Very cool. There we go. Whoa. Okay, look at that. Coalition Tech already open because it is our native. And the other guy, Ronin Tech, is already open because that's his native. And if I go into Coalition Tech, you'll notice things are a little differently priced. Pistol here on the native, the guys who is natively Coalition, is 10. Over here, it's 30. It's 3 times as much. That's the default multiplier of all the costs. So he's gonna run out of money. Like, if he wants a missile launcher, it's gonna cost him 1,000 gold. He doesn't even have like half of that. As you can see, well, I can't move my cursor over there, but yeah, he's got 480 gold, and he couldn't even afford half of these guns now because, and let alone like a ship and everything that he needs. So, yeah, he still, since rockets are in the base class, in the base module, base tech module, they're not like specific to any tech. There are ones that are, like here, dummy tech is, you know, the brocklet and drop crate, drop ship. Look how the drop ship is like 330. Is that right? Dummy? I thought that was, it's comparable. Was it really that cheap before? Well, I will confirm that, but these are supposed to be more expensive anyway. Supposedly 3 times as much. And but he still won't be like completely high in actually he will. Well, this is weird. These aren't supposed to be more. Something in my logic is not quite right. Game activity data module. It's gonna be by menu GUI. Yeah, that was not correct. We're gonna have to change something here. Okay, same problem. We need to make this happen again after category change. Needs to happen after not only, well, category change doesn't affect the current loadout. It's gonna be save current load, deploy current loadout. Yeah, I'm not multiplying these properly. Yep, I missed this. Yeah, I missed a couple of places where I need to check for this foreign module thing, but that's all right. I will fix that as well. Why don't we do it right now? Might as well. Foreign module. I did that better down in the total cost. It's in here. Total order cost. Here. Foreign item. Yes. We want to Sevago string up. It's Sevago string in here. Needs to be happening everywhere. Deploy loadout. Card list item. Card list. Through scene objects, we can just get the take into accordingly. So get module ID, native tech module. Foreign item or not. Just do module. Okay, very cool. Where is that? Foreign cost multiplier. If it's foreign, it's supposed to be multiplied. Okay. Foreign item. What's this do? Yep, use that. That's fine. Need to make sure that this, we got all of these. Yep, it's being multiplied there. Yep, it's being multiplied there. No, it's not. Where's this at? Update objects list. Oh, this is picker GUI. We're gonna have to go to picker GUI as well, mess with it, but for now we're gonna have to do the same treatment with the picker GUI. When your picker GUI is what you use when you build your base and design your base, and that also needs to be adjusted for the module ID being foreign or the tech being foreign to you or not. But this should do it for the buy menu. Get models. Yeah. Get gold value string. We will have to retest. Let's rebuild, retest. That's what you gotta do. Just gotta iterate over and over and over again. What game development is all about. It's not so sexy or glamorous, but that's what you do. The actual design of the game and so on, I mean, that's the fun part. When you get to dream about, oh, I can do this mechanic and that mechanic and it's gonna be great, and then you actually, the reality hits you of like what you actually need to do to implement like 1/10 of the things. There's a small percentage of the things that you want it to have in the game. You realize usually too late like how much work is involved to make everything just run in some fashion in the game, and then if it runs well or not, if it's that's not even polished at that point. And that's the thing, like just getting it running seems like a huge battle, and then you've only done, that's when you've done 90% of the work, and then you have the other 90% left, so to speak, because the polishing part, just making it actually play well and so on. I mean, that's what sets a kind of crappy game apart from a really, really good game, is that amount of polish. I mean, even the crappy games should be applauded for even just someone made that reality, even if it is crappy and unpolished. I mean, someone took the time to just make something happen. Okay, dummy tech. Alright, this is coalition tech. And this is Ronin tech. They're open. The rocket should... Dang it. There's still something wrong. Because when I click that, the price of the rocket went up. This is also wrong. These are not supposed to be 360. So, what the heck, yo? Click that and it jumped the price up. It's not correct behavior. Not correct at all, sir. At least these are working. So you see how a dummy costs like 240 bucks, which is insanity, because these are multiplied by 3. Well, my regular soldier, so I better like stick within my technology. Soldier light. Yeah, dummies are gonna be stupid expensive. These are stupid expensive. Yup. Even the zombies are pretty expensive. They're like up at the same price range as my own guys. Even though zombies are supposed to be very cheap. But why is this happening? I go to that, I go to that. It started out as 50 though, which is ridiculous. It's incorrect. That's what it is. String. I guess this would be it. Get gold value of what? This This might have something to do with it, but I'm not multiplying these enough. Okay, total cost. Here I am multiplying them. Here I am not. This is it. This is it. This needs to happen here too. The multiplier needs to be applied here as well. Oh, what fun. Alright then, let's do it. Great. It's getting late. It's 4:25 a.m. folks. Long night. Gotta get this done. Oh boy. Hells yeah. This is definitely it. This is definitely what is causing that problem I saw. Because this is... So these days the presets are saved all the time. And that's how that initial setup, it's actually one, it just takes the first preset that's in there, and since that, yeah, these are being multiplied, these are being multiplied, that's all there is. So let's see if we can get there. Fine. What? Wow, what am I doing? Get cargo list. Begin. Okay. This is the sucker I need. Cargo list. Jeez, guys. Give me a break. So yeah, without my music, this is going to be even more deathly, depressingly quiet and boring, but who will? Okay, campaign. Let's do it. Let's do it to it. Jeez, why did I do that? That wasn't the right option. Okay, here we go. Duh, what? Still not working. So much fun. So much fun. Why? Why do you do this to me? Well, the crabs are still free. That's good. Yeah, there's obviously a problem with these are defined in the see. I'm assuming the module ID of the base stuff is supposed to be 0. So if it's 0, then it's not. Oh, not dumb. This is dumb. Yeah. This is the problem. No. Just in this file, thank you. Has to be, this is just the logic problem. Because I intended it's more than 0, and if so, it's only foreign, priced foreign as a foreign item if it's more than 0, meaning more than the base, not more than and equal to the native tech module. Okay. Once again, try this one more flipping time. Well, we're coming up on 40 minutes on this little segment of the video, and it's gonna be about an hour, it sounds like. Me with the like preamble clips I had before. Hopefully it won't lose this recording again, because that's gonna make me upset. I mean, I'm still making this progress in the code, but it'd be nice to actually have the recording work. Okay, coalition, Ronin, new day. It's a new day. It's a new life. Well, there we go. Now they're priced as they should be, as normal pricing. Yes, thank you. And these are expensive. Yes, because it's not, the Coalition is not dummy. That's why it's 3 times more. Thank you. Soldiers are fine. Dummy is expensive. Very well. This is interesting. Why is this 160? Damn it. Well, assault rifle gun is where is assault rifle? Interesting. Not sure why that is only twice as much, but not. Oh, it's because I made this preset with a different. Yeah, 240 now. So doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. There's some funkiness with that, but at least it works after you get over that. So let me see the other one. This is probably wrong as well. Let's see the body of soldier 270. Why is it like, holy crap, why is this, why are they both moving? Okay, got a little control problem there. They're like cross mapped somehow. I have to look at the bindings, but to some degree this is working because these are the right price. Round codes are really expensive. Coalition are really expensive. Dummy are really expensive. Super. Oh. Oh. I think it might be that. Oh, I think I know what it is. Why it's like only twice when you start it out. Now it's correct. The reason is that the twice, it's before it gets communicated, the new multiplier. Okay. Because there's a default for the multiplier in the buy menu, and that's only 2, I believe. So it to be 2. Yes, see, 2. And that's what gets applied to the other ones. I'm thinking the loadouts, deploy loadout 0. This needs to happen again when set native tech module, category change, and deployed loadout. Whoops. It's getting really long here. What we do when that happens, we just move it. Into here. So it's fine. Because that was just getting out of hand. Out of hand. Sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree, Bob. Rail the whole gaggle of things, but now when I do tweak this, it's in the C++ file, CPP file, instead of in the header, and that means the header is unchanged, which means all these other things that depend on the header will not have to be recompiled because the header isn't changed. The implementation in the file here will, in the CPP file, can change, and then only by menu GUI CPP needs to be rebuilt, and not a dozen things. Yikes! Turning into late night, early morning. 4:40. Coming up on. Pretty sure we're over an hour now. Really hope this recording doesn't die again. Let's do this. Okay, after this test run, I'm gonna cut. I'm getting worried that whatever resources we ran out of when we tried to save the previous recording are gonna run out again. That recording was over an hour and 8 minutes or something like that, so hopefully we're not there yet. We're not even well, we're approaching it. I am mumbly and rambly. Proper rambly. So this low frame rate in the game is making the mouse movements even really annoying because the mouse isn't refreshing very quick. Come on. Coalition Tech. The dummy body is. Ugh. It's not working. Still 160. What the heck? See how it adjusted when I clicked that? What a doofus. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. Now I want to make sure that the Ronins don't get shafted completely. Their craft aren't super expensive. Yeah, that's good. Presets. I did the same thing and updated. I don't know why that happens. Interesting. Because deploy loaders should do it. Clears it. Very peculiar. Is that I'm not saving that thing? Like, do I need to recalculate the loadout? It's possible. fully loaded. Save current loadout. Very peculiar. I'm gonna have to mess with that later. I'm gonna cut this video now. There's still more polishing to be done, obviously, but we are very close to having, I mean, we have right now a fully functioning implementation of the text. They are they're set in the main menu. When you the new menu, you can set whatever you want here, and it affects the menus in the game when you play, like in here. And things get more expensive that aren't your native tech. That's kind of the whole point of the mechanic. You might go with a higher default multiplier. Now it's ×3. Maybe we'll go for ×4, just to make it really obvious that you're not supposed to really buy stuff in the other techs. So there you have it. Late night coding. It's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun's going to start coming up, so I better get to some form of sleep at this point. I'll hope the recording actually works when I save it now. So if it does, you'll get this. You'll see this online. If not, you won't. Alright, this has been a fun little trilogy of sessions. I might do more in the future, but this is a nice little set of me completely implementing from start to finish a gameplay mechanic in Cortex Command. I'm going to keep doing it and keep at it and get the AI working properly as well for the metagame, so you can play against AI. And that's going to be build 27, test build 27, which looks like it might be the last test build before we get an actual full release of the game. So build 27 is going to be all about the AI multiplayer in the metagame. It won't be polished, it will be buggy, and AI might not be very challenging, but at least it will be playable. And then after that it's going to be completely all about, that's going to be a feature freeze, and we're not adding any more features to the game. We're just going to be polishing up what is there and make everything very, very as playable and smooth and shiny and polished as we can. And then we'll ship 1.0 this year, before the middle of this year is the deadline. Okay, that's it for this video.